Mike Tomlin found the way to win coming off the bye last week. The Steelers looked pretty good, and they're starting to figure it out a little bit on offense, but definitely not as much as the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I will say this about the Jags. They're hardly even using a guy like Calvin Ridley right now. If they got him involved even more, this offense would be very, very scary. The offensive line is starting to come along. They're getting healthier. Cam Robinson being one of those guys. They're able to move the football with Travis Etienne on the ground, and that just opens up the passing game for Trevor Lawrence right now. Lawrence is starting to play better and better. He's still making a few questionable mistakes, but I do like the Jaguars in this spot as a short road favorite. The Pittsburgh Steelers, while you may think they have a good defense, they do force turnovers and they do score defensive touchdowns, but they're at the bottom of the league in rushing yards allowed per game, bottom of the league in passing yards allowed per game. They're giving up points and they're giving up yards. The saving grace for them is those defensive touchdowns and turnovers. I don't want to count on that in this spot. I want to count on the Jacksonville Jaguars offense to keep the momentum going, and I just don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be able to keep pace. If the Jaguars are able to stop the run, which I think they're going to have some success in this game, they're going to be just fine, and I like them to cover that 2.5 point line. Greg, the Green Bay Packers, they're dead to me. They're absolutely dead to me after what they did against the Denver Broncos. I expected Jordan Love to throw for 250 in that game, a couple touchdowns. He looked awful, and this entire team looked awful against the Denver Broncos, and that's an issue because the Broncos are not a talented football team. While the Vikings record is under 500, this is still a good team. Kirk Cousins can sling it. He's one of the better throwing quarterbacks in the NFL, and the defense is playing hard right now under Brian Flores. He's disguising coverages, he's blitzing, he is playing where he is coaching this team up very, very well on defense, and it's showing with how they're playing. Coming off the win over the 49ers, they should have a lot of momentum coming into this Green Bay game. This could be a little bit of a trap game just because they did play so well against the 49ers, but I can't get behind Jordan Love in any way whatsoever. I'm going to be all over Kirk Cousins in this spot. They found a way to get better and better despite losing their best player in Justin Jefferson. And again, this Packers team just not answering the call right now. They rank 15th in defensive pass rating, according to coldhardfootballfacts.com. They rank 25th in defensive rusher rating. So that's another thing to look at, too. Look for Alexander Mattison to have a big day for this Vikings team, Kirk Cousins to work in the play action, and the Vikings to cover -1.5 here on the road. If you can get a straight 10 at Circa, I highly recommend locking that in. Even 9.5, I love this line. There's a lot of thoughts about the Miami Dolphins that they're really good. They're not as good as people think they are, and I think the Patriots are a little better than people think they are. When you look at the New England Patriots coming off a big win over the Buffalo Bills, the Bills do make a lot of mistakes. We've seen that consistently throughout the year. We saw that tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down the stretch, allowing Buccaneers to cover. But it's big that the Patriots were able to beat the Bills in the sense that they came out, they played really hard football, and they found a way to win. And that's something that they haven't been able to do. And I know they don't play really well on the road against the Miami Dolphins. That's kind of historic under Bill Belichick. But there's a couple areas where this Patriots team is pretty decent. Defensive hog index, they have a very, very good front seven. They defend the run very well, and we've seen that throughout the year. If they can shut down the Miami Dolphins run game and force Tua to take to the air, there's a reason to think they can be within this 9.5, 10-point margin. It's going to take a very good offensive performance from Mac Jones. I think he can build off what he did last week because the Miami Dolphins just aren't that good on the defensive side of the ball. They rank 26th in defensive rusher rating, 27th in defensive passer rating, according to Cold Hard Football Facts, and that is the reason to fade them here. I do think they're going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be by 10 points, and that's why I'm going to go towards the Patriots coming off the win against the Bills.